Hello, everyone. Welcome to the round 6 review, where today I'll be going through, how we did for round 6, obviously. All right, so we'll start off, as always, with our trades. We traded out Samuel Davidson, Connor Stone, and Jack Henderson. We brought in Zach Merritt, Tom Gross, and Caden Cleary. Yeah, so I went Zach Merritt instead of Nick Dacos, which, that really hurts. And anyway, and we put the vice captain on Merritt. We didn't take it, so we put the C on Gorn, who was on about 30 at half time, I think. And he had a massive second half, so got us up to 117 for a captain score. So, I'll definitely take that. And we'll just add that in here. 117, which brings our average captain score, up from 112 to 113. Go me. Nearly nailing the captains this year, aren't I? Anyway. Alright, so let's have a look. Actually, lockout's been lifted, so let's see. Not a great score. I'm predicting a drop in the rankings. 2,111, and we've dropped only 2k places to 12,590. Okay, maybe not as bad as I might have thought. All right, so let's get back to the team. All right, we'll start off with something different. Well, defenders, but to my flex position, Dane Zorko with a 70. Oh boy, not happy with you, Dane. I don't even know. I have to check DFS Australia, but is he even taking kick-ins anymore? I'm not sure. But what I did see, by the way, I didn't watch hardly any footy this weekend. I've just with work just been flat out. So I only watched about 3 games, like in parts of other games. Dane Zorko, what I did see from you was gave away free kick, then like a 50. Then went onto the bench, arguing with your coach. Come on, get your head back in the game, Dane. All right, start scoring us. Where are those 130s gone? They seem like a long time ago. All right, so come on, mate, lift. We've got Lockie Whitfield, 145. That's one thing that I'm happy with. That's why we brought you in for these scores, not the 80s that you got last week. Although you were playing on a small over, which probably wasn't suited to you. So, hey, that's probably my fault for bringing you in when you had that game. Sheasel, 86. Come on, please get back to your halfback role. That would be good. Jordan Clark, I was going to call him Jai Clark. Oh, no, thank you. Jordan Clark. Now, you're playing against Melbourne. I was licking my lips at this matchup because Melbourne give away a lot of points to defenders, and you only scored a 94. Didn't watch any of this game, but I was, watching the live scores, and that's not good enough. I'm expecting, well, I probably expect about 95 to 105, I guess. But come on, you should have scored at least 110 against Melbourne. Come on. All right. Matt Roberts. Happy we held him with a 119. I know some people traded him out. Let's see. What's his break even now? 79. So, I'll probably, keep you for at least another week. Was planning maybe doing a swap to Stewart maybe, but Stewart only scored like a 62. So maybe we can wait another week. Or do we want him at all? Anyway, on to the next player. Riley Bice, 79. Yep, pretty good score for a rookie. And break even of 33. He'll still keep making us cash. He's made us, 226 so far. So, he should make us over 250k, which is great. Luke Trainer, 2. Now, yes, I did have a look at the late outs and see that he was named, when the subs were named before the game. And yes, I know, Luke Trainer was named as the sub, and I kept him on field. Why did I do this? Well, because Zach Reed here only scored a 38, and I thought, well, that Zach Reed 38, that's probably going to be my 23rd score anyway. It's going to drop out. Maybe there's an injury or maybe an early tactical sub. Not that I wish injuries on players, but there's a chance that he could have come on and outscored Zach Reed's 38, but obviously he didn't. He missed by a whole 36 points. But I think maybe Noah Bolter maybe coming back into the side has affected him. And is he one that we need to trade out? Well, we'll go through a couple of things later on. How much has he made us? He's made us a decent amount of money. He's made us 150k. So yeah, that magical 150k mark. All right, so yeah, it might be time to say goodbye to Trainer. O'Connell didn't play. He did play in the twos though, so yeah, no. Does he come back this week? Not sure. We'll have to wait for team sheets. Midfield, Zach Merritt. Now I traded him in, right, because of this easy matchup against West Coast. Well, not just this matchup, but Zach Merritt's got North Melbourne in a couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks later he's got Richmond. So that's why I chose Merritt over Dacos, because I thought, well, Dacos, even if he has a good game, he won't go up by that much. He had a break even of like 120 or so. And of course, Nick Dacos comes out and scores a 170. So yeah, that really hurts. And yeah, in the process, Nick Dacos has gone way up in price, and Zach Merritt has come down by like 20k or so. So yeah, not great. Oh man, that happened on Thursday night as well. The Nick Dacos score, so that made for a very long Supercoach weekend. All right, so I was hurting. I'm still hurting over that. So can we get Nick Dacos in this week? Is it too late? Well, we'll go through a few things later on in the video. Lockie Neal, 113. Yeah, okay, I guess. But he's plummeted in price, and actually, what's his break even now? 126. So he's still going to hover around that price. Then again, he might come out, like Nick Dacos and score like a 170 or so. Please do that. Wait, who's Brisbane playing? Oh, they're playing St Kilda. Okay, he's going to cop the Windhager tag. Oh, bloody hell. All right, just don't score us another 40 this week, please. Adam Chera, he's going along nicely, 110. Would be very good if we got in George Hewitt, he was going nuts. But yeah, Chera we chose. Rosie, 103. He was tagged by Jordan in the first half, still playing on that halfback role. But yeah, he's got North this week as well, so he should go well this week. Clayton Oliver, he's just going along like in that 90 to 100 range. Well, with an average of 96, that would suggest that. But we probably hold on to him. He's got Richmond this week. Then again, Richmond are playing pretty well, so could Richmond actually beat Melbourne? We'll find out Thursday night. Max Hall with a 48. Actually, what's his break even? He's up to 250k. He's made us 130. 38. Okay, still, well, what's his average? 59. Okay, does he have one more week in him? Not sure. Could be a trade out option this week. Kako, 55. Thought he might have a field day against, lowly West Coast, but yeah. Reason why I fielded him, because I thought, well, they're playing West Coast, and I should have known, being an Essendon supporter, that this would be a game that's, Essendon would just win, or, even lose to West Coast, because that would be such an Essendon thing to do. But also an Essendon thing to do would be to play Collingwood the next week, who are on fire, to put up a decent showing. So, come on. Let's get to over 250k. Isaac. Let's get a real big spike game going on. Xavier Lindsay with a 55. Yeah, it's about his average. Well, actually, probably a bit below his average because take that 9 out of the score, but he still has that 9 in his. Oh, actually, does he have that 9 in his system anymore? Anyway, he has a low break even of 14. He should still make us some cash. Hopefully get a nice score against the Tigers this Thursday. And hey, Elijah Hewitt we put on the bench for a 97. So, why would I want that 97 when I can have Isaac Kako for a 55 or Max Hall for a 48? I don't want your high scores, Elijah. All right, anyway. We hold him. Maybe even field him. Who's West Coast got this week? Hawthorn, okay. Might be a bit of a tougher matchup than Essendon, but we might field him. Clay Hall dropped, didn't get a game. Gross. Now, I thought, all right. So what happened on Good Friday was I was watching. Actually fell asleep during the North Melbourne and Carlton game. I woke up at about, I reckon it was about 6:08, so 2 minutes before the Essendon West Coast game, and I actually had him on the field. And then I looked up and I saw, oh shit, Tom Gross is the sub. Yeah, get him off. And I thought, oh, do I even trade him out to another option? Didn't have time to look at any other options. So, yeah, we were stuck with him. He's gone up, but his break even is going to be, pretty big for -6. But, that 80 or so score he scored the week before, that's going to be out of his system. And the next week, that's even if he gets game this week, yeah, that'll drop out of his system and he'll have a high break even. So yeah, I think I said in my last video, it's pretty scary owning these three West Coast rookies. Man, but come on, just play all the kids, McQualter, please. All right, let's go to the Rucks. Max Gawn, yeah, like I said earlier, didn't watch this game, but I was watching the live scores, and yeah, Gawn had a monster second half, or was it last quarter? I'm not sure which one it was. But yeah, happy with a 117 considering some of our other captain scores and the way it was looking. Up at halftime. I thought, playing an underdone Sean Darcy. So Sean Darcy's probably going to have managed minutes, and they didn't have their backup ruckman Luke Jackson. They didn't have Reedy. They didn't even have Patrick Voss, who was suspended. So who was he rucking against? I think he was rucking against. Oh, I don't know. Was it Draper or something? I'm not sure. But, he would have been playing against a ruckman that was nowhere near a ruckman, and I thought he could dominate. Maybe that's what he did in the second half. I'm not sure. So, we'll take the 117, and, hopefully he can go well against Richmond. De Koning with a 100 against Cherry, so, pretty tough matchup for him. So, we'll take the 100. Does Pitternet still come back? We're still keeping every Thursday now. We're sweating on, whether or not Pitternet's name. I thought it was going to be named last week, but, to my surprise, he wasn't. All right, so, and they won pretty convincingly as well. So, hopefully, Pitternet can stay away. Harry Boyd emergency didn't play, but he keeps on getting named as an emergency, which is annoying. So, and Ross, he's been swinging the late changes. So, yeah, it makes me very nervous when I try to, loophole him, captain loophole, because, you don't want him to be a late in and have him as your captain. Ooh, jeez, that would be disaster. All right, so, yeah. Horn Francis, the 94, it was looking all right, but I think he had a quiet, sort of last half or last quarter. But we'll still take the 94. Jack McRae, everyone's got him, 104. Bailey Smith, 86, but again, 86, 80, I can't even see. Everyone's got him, so it doesn't really matter. Same with Caleb Daniel, 88, everyone's got him. Now, Bailey Humpty Dumpty. Well, he's fell off the wall and he scored a 48 against Richmond. Now, the reason why I chose him over Marek, so Marek had a good role, or has a good role, but Bailey Humphrey, he had the fixture, or so I thought. Now, he's played against North Melbourne, he's played against Richmond, and I thought, yep, spike score coming, make us some cash, get us some points on field, but he scored a 48 against Richmond, and they lost too. Damn, Dimmer really hates coming to Marvel. But yeah, he's got to go from my team. Aiden Johnson didn't play. Oh, someone's out. Or do they bring Van Ruin back in? Not sure, but I think Daniel Turner, I think he got concussed, so I'm pretty sure he'll miss this week. So could he come back in, Aiden Johnson? I hope so, but they probably bring in Van Ruin Or maybe they bring them both in. I don't know. I don't know what Simon Goodwin's doing. As an Essendon supporter, happy for Melbourne to lose, though, as seeing as we have their first round pick. Levi Ashcroft, we loopholed him with Johnson, 89, very nice. He's going to keep making money. What's his break even now? It's a 12, so he's still going up in cash. All right, beautiful. And Caden Cleary, disappointing with a 30. What's his break even now? Minus 11 still. Who's Sydney playing this week? Gold Coast. Okay, so hopefully he can have a better game than last week. All right, so that's the team. So what have we got? We've got 28 trades left. We've still got the 3 boosts. 28k salary, so not the most money. All right, so there are a few trade-in targets, right? We have got, let's have a look here. We've got, first off, I'll go off with a rookie. All right, we've got, well, that's not how you spell Carroll. Matthew Carroll. What's his break even? Minus 65. He's a 99k defender. Scores 64, 62. So, he'll score around the 60s. Yeah. Could we go there? The sub-vest, scares me a little bit. But, I think he's our best rookie option this week. Another guy who, all right, so you remember when I said last week, I said, I think I might have a plan for my trades in this week. Might be a bit controversial. Well, it was going to be possibly TDK to Matt Flynn. That was going to be my plan. That would get us some cash. But I actually now think he's going to be a very popular trade-in target with a negative 73 break-even after scoring, what was it, a 141? So, yeah. How we get to him? Well, that's another question. And I was looking at Tom Stewart. Can we 79 break even now? Could we even 441k after scoring what did he score, a 60 odd? What did he score? He scored 64. So could we wait another week possibly? That 9's out of his system now. But after scoring 60, do I really want him? I think he will score better than 60s, but maybe we can wait another week. Maybe. And there was one more player who, oh yes, Dacos. The guy who we should have got last week. Yeah, how much did he go up by this week? 24k. Bloody hell. So that's by trading in Merit I think he lost about 20k. So that's about a 40 plus k loss there by that one decision alone. All right, so yeah, there's some targets that I might be looking at. All right, so what can we actually do here? So we might have to trade out Trainer. If we trade out Trainer and we trade out Humpty Dumpty, and let's say we bring Kako down here. We bring Zorko to defense. Sheasel in the midfield. Wait, no. That's not what I want to do. Go in the midfield. Why are you not going in the midfield? Anyway. Alright, let's just do that one later. Okay, so first we'll do Trainer to Carroll. Again, I can't spell Carroll. Alright, Matthew Carroll. Not in the flex. There we go, we've got Sheasel in there. And Carroll goes to, yep, defense. Beautiful. That's what I wanted. Alright, so the second trade, we bring in Flynn into the flex. Alright, so that gives us exactly 270k cash. And yeah, I'm not going to have anywhere near enough to do what I want to do. So let's try and trade out maybe a max. Oh, actually, I have to activate my boost. Activate. Alright, so what I'll do here, if I were to do this, maybe loophole again, Zach Reed and Matt Carroll, and hopefully O'Connell's not named, and just use him as a loop. Essendon playing the second game, so I'll be able to do that. Alright. So, who can we trade out? Max Hall. Alright, so 520, 600. So let's go to... Where's players I can afford? Alright, let's see what we can get. I can get Ed Richards, Star Bottom. Rankin, I could get Rankin. That could be an option. Simpkin Callahan, he came back with a pretty good score. Cripps. Petrarca, perhaps? You're playing against Richmond. Put him in the forward line. Chad Warner's probably not in good enough form. Okay, not really too much here. Too late to get Merrick. Oh, 162k is made. That's another blunder that I've made. Alright, so I'm not going to go too much further down here. So, I could either get Petrarca, Rankin, maybe even a Callahan. But yeah, other than that, not really too much else I can afford with Max Hall. Or, plan B. If Pitnet's named, maybe we just go straight from DeConing to Dacos. Put Flynn up here, and put Dacos, and put whoever in the flex. Alright, that's another option. Okay, vice captain. Much as vice captain gone against Richmond. They play in the first game. If I were to get in Dacos, probably put the captain on Dacos. Or, let's say I don't get Dacos. Who can we get? No Brayshaw hurts as well. Could we go Rosie against Port Adelaide? And by the way, how good were Butters and Bont as well on their returns? Well, I know Butters has been back for a couple of weeks, but yeah, Bonts look really good. I was hoping we can get them both maybe, hopefully maybe they could ease their way into it, but, not the case. Alright, so anyway, I'll have a think about it during the week and see what we can do. Might have to have a think about it. Wait for team sheets to drop. Alright, so a bit longer video than I expected. Considering I didn't even want to do it after my blunder of a trade this week. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!